If you have a Pulse, Esprit, XLI or Alpa, you'll have this control panel. This button here is to turn on the 12-volt system. Turn it on when you prepare your vehicle, get the fridge going and everything. Leave that on while you use the motorhome until you finish with the vehicle and you park it and you turn it all off. So don't turn it off, otherwise you turn off your fridge, you turn off the water pump, turn off everything. So our 12 volt is on. This gauge here is the voltage gauge for the batteries, and you'll see some icons here. This is the vehicle battery, or the Fiat battery if you like. If I press it, it shows us that it's up past 12.7 volts, which is fine. That charges as you drive. If I press this button here, it also shows us the voltage for the 12 volt batteries, which again is up past 12.7 volts, and at the moment we're not drawing any amperage from the system. So that's the two batteries, house battery, vehicle battery. On the controls above here you'll see a temperature button. If we press that, that's the internal temperature in the motorhome, and this one is the external. And below it, the water gauge. This button shows us the freshwater gauge, which in this case is very low, so we need to fill up our fresh water, and it's showing nothing in the grey water as it's been emptied. So if the grey water was full, it would be lit up to the top and it would be time to empty. So that's the water gauge. If you have an Esprit or an XLI or an Alpa, you'll need to press this button when you need to use your taps, your water pump. This turns on the water pump, but in the Pulse model you have an automatic water pump, so you don't need to use that. Right next to it, I don't know what that is. Oh, an analog clock. Gosh, it's a little bonus for you just to tell the time. Right next to it, this is an important piece of equipment. This is your Truma water and air heater. So if we press this button here, you'll find there's our menu. It's got air temperature in the motorhome, water temperature, what fuel we're using to use the heater, whether it's LPG or electricity, and the fan which runs the heater. We're going to go to the third icon, and I'll show you how to select. So it's on gas at the moment, and we have our gas switched on, so we'd select that. But if we wanted to use electricity, we'd put in we'd plug in our electricity and we'd scroll this along. Now, mix 1, mix 2 and EL1, do not use them. They are European settings and will not work in this vehicle. If you want electricity, turn one more to EL2, 2 lightning bolts, that's New Zealand electricity, and select. In this case we're going to use gas, so I'm rolling back to gas, select to confirm that. Now if we take the flashing icon to there, hot water, and press the button, the hot water is off. We're going to roll the dial, and there's eco, hot or boost. We recommend come back to hot, select it, and you'll see on the taskbar that we're using gas to heat the water. Now in a moment this will start flashing the icon, meaning it's the water heating process has begun. From the time we turn that on, it takes about 20 minutes to heat enough water for a hot shower and hot water coming through your taps, so it's very quick. Now let's also turn on the air heating. So that's the little icon here, it's flashing, select, and it says off. If we roll it, you'll see a little flame comes up on the taskbar. We roll this up to the temperature. In winter probably you'd want this around 17 or 18 degrees. Select, and you'll see on the taskbar we've now got the air heating, the water heating going. The fan is automatically driving the temperature. Right next to the trimmer unit we have the thermostat. Now this controls the temperature that we've set. We've set 18 degrees, there it is. When it reaches 18 degrees here, it will turn off the heater, and then when it drops, it will automatically turn the heater on. Now we've got a little error there. Probably our gas is switched off, so I'm going to just turn this off. So make sure your gas is turned on if you're using the gas, and if you're using the electricity or EL2, that your electricity is turned on. I'm going to turn the heater off now, so I'm going to roll it back to off and select. And now the heater has turned off. Now I'm going to turn off our hot water, so I'm going to the second icon here, select, and off, and we've got nothing on now. Now you'll have an instruction sheet in your motorhome that'll teach you how to turn on the hot water and the hot air, so you'll have that as a guide. Other icons here, this is a timer switch. It can get complicated, so we don't suggest you use it, but you're welcome to play. You're safe to have your heater on all through the night in winter and just have that temperature nice and consistent. Over here we've got a clock icon, that's for setting the time on this unit, and a spanner for troubleshooting. I'm not going to go into that now, but if you consult your Truma manual in the vehicle, you'll find out more about that. Now, we have a solar gauge. Somewhere in the vehicle you'll have a solar gauge like this, which is shows the solar is on. This little sunlight shows it's charging. This shows how many amps it's generating. All right, and it's got various settings. There's the voltage of our batteries, 13.5. There's the amp hours of our batteries, in this case 263 amp hours total that we can use. It's drawing 4 kilowatts and 2.5 amps currently being drawn. So this is your gauge of your solar charging and system, and obviously in the winter you need to make sure that you're in a spot that the solar will get as much sunlight as possible.